It's the D-backs Sunday in downtown Phoenix. A big crowd finally into Chase Field for the series finale against the Chicago Cubs. It's been an exciting weekend here, and that's carried over into today. 20,000 D-backs fedoras handed out, so we are styling in fine fashion today. Sunday, Diamondbacks baseball on this Memorial Day weekend is brought to you by Sanderson Ford. And good afternoon from Chase Field. Welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthew, Bob Brenly along the way. It's the series finale, the Diamondbacks and the Chicago Cubs. And your pitching matchup today is a good one. It's Jason Hamill on the mound for the Cubs. He's only lost once all year. And Jeremy Hellickson for the Diamondbacks, coming off 4 straight no decisions, Bob, but a very encouraging outing Tuesday at Marlins Park.
Very encouraging against the Fish down in South Florida. Jeremy tried to work with a little bit quicker pace on the mound between pitches. It seemed to really help him, help his defense behind him. Really needs to attack the strike zone against this Cubs team. The guys that take a lot of pitches, they take their walks. He really needs to attack that strike zone today.
Went a little deeper into the game than he has been lately. 95 pitches through 6, only 1 walk, 2 earned on 4 hits. So Hellickson looks for his 2nd win of the year. The series finale against the Cubs, and then it's off to St. Louis. A chance to win this series and hit the road on a winning note. Did everybody do their laundry, get everything cleaned and packed? We are on the plane after the ball game. Diamondbacks, the rubber game of this 3-game series with the Chicago Cubs on this Memorial Day weekend. And we pause now to honor America. Here now, the voice of Chase Field, Mr. Chuck Drago.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise And please remove your hats as we honor the United States of America and pay tribute to our veterans, active duty, and retired men and women of our armed services. As we enjoy our time with family and friends in the ballpark during this Memorial Day weekend, Major League Baseball, the Arizona Diamondbacks, and the Chicago Cubs would like to take a moment to pause and remember the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice in service of our country. We ask that you now join us in a moment of silence. Thank you. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Chicago Cubs invite you to join in the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, performed by the Verado Middle School Choir under the direction of Christina Elder.
Of their last 6 games, a chance to win this series against the Cubs and carry some momentum into their next series at St. Louis against a Cardinals team that is just ahead of Chicago for the NL Central lead. For the Diamondbacks, your Arizona Ford starting pitcher is Jeremy Hellickson. He used to pitch for Joe Madden in Tampa Bay. He's making his 9th start this year, still looking for his 2nd win. And on a run here of 4 straight no decisions, longest of his career, a 1-3 record, the ERA just over 5.5.
Yeah, we talked about his last outing against the Marlins down in South Florida. 6 innings of 4-hit ball, gave up a couple of runs in that game on a Giancarlo Stanton 2-run homer in the 6th inning, but other than that, he was really good last time out against the Marlins.
Dexter Fowler and the Cubs have won 9 of 12, 6 over 500, 24-18, their best start since 2008. Hellickson and Hamill, Diamondbacks and Cubs here on a Sunday on this Memorial Day weekend. Glad you're with us on Fox Sports Arizona. Dexter Fowler in there at 264 and 5 homers, and we are set to go. Outfield panels are open, the roof is closed, and a big crowd here this afternoon. 20,000 of those fans wearing their D-backs fedoras. Ball one. Angel Hernandez is our plate umpire today.
I didn't say anything.
You were the epitome of restraint. This is along the left field line. Nick Ahmed's out there just in fair territory. And that's the first out. The lineup for Joe Madden, Chicago Cubs.
We've seen Dexter Fowler at the top. He'll be out in center field once again with Chris Bryant at third base. Anthony Rizzo over at first. Had a big night in the ball game last night. Starlin Castro cleaning up at shortstop. Miguel Montero, the former D-back, doing the catching again today. Jorge Soler out in right field. Chris Coughlin in left. Jason Hamill, the pitcher, batting 8th once again. And Jonathan Herrera batting 9th, playing second base.
And the Diamondbacks put the shift on the left-hand side for big rookie Chris Bryant. Swings at the first pitch and knocks it fair to Aaron Hill. Good start for Hellickson. 2 up, 2 down, and here comes Rizzo. Take a look at the Diamondbacks around Jeremy Hellickson. It's our mid-first bank starting defense.
Outfield left to right will be Peralta, Pollock, and Inciarte this afternoon. Aaron Hill, we saw him make a nice play on the backhand side down that third base line. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Chris Owings at second. Paul Goldschmidt over at first base. Jordan Pacheco getting a start behind the plate today for right-hander Jeremy Hellickson.
Tuffy Gozawish getting the day off after last night's ball game, in which Tuffy hit his first homer of the year. There he is. Both his career homers have come against the Cubs. Here's the man of the hour for Chicago. Did all the damage last night. Rizzo, 322, 9 homers. Second in the National League in on-base percentage. 4th in the league in OPS. A 3-run double, and then last night this 3-run homer.
The 3-run double narrowly missed being a grand slam to left field. And his next at bat, he launched one out in the RamTrucks.com pool area.
And Hellickson is ahead quickly. He got the first 2 outs on 3 pitches, and he's 0-2 on Rizzo. The 6 RBIs last night for Rizzo, tied a career high. And Madden said after last night's game that Rizzo is a guy who has high standards, really high standards for himself. And in Madden's words, in that really elite group of baseball players regarding how they work in at bat. He is very patient up there for a power hitter. And he's a lot like Goldie that way.
And we've documented throughout this series with 2 strikes, he'll choke up a good inch, maybe 2 inches on that bat. He stands right on top of the plate, has a great eye for the zone, rarely chases bad pitches.
And you can see here, Jeremy was ahead 0-2, and Rizzo is going to make him throw a strike. You're going to have to throw one more strike to get this guy. He will not chase. Gets it away from the shift, but right to Nick Ahmed. And how about a nice, tidy 8-pitch 1-2-3 first for Jeremy Hellickson. We are underway at Chase Field. 2.5 games behind the Cardinals for the NL Central lead, and the Diamondbacks right after this ball game are on a plane to St. Louis for 3 against the Redbirds starting tomorrow. Your Arizona Ford starting pitcher for Chicago, Jason Hamill. The veteran right-hander is 10th season in the big leagues. Only 3 pitchers in baseball are allowing fewer base runners right now. This guy can be very tough. Doesn't walk anybody. Hasn't lost a game in more than a month. Let's get our Arizona Ford scouting report.
But anytime you're in the big leagues, you have a chance of, shutting teams down. So on our case, I mean, he's a fastball slider, sinker slider type guy, and we want to, again, make him throw to our zone.
Hitting coach Turner Ward there. Ender Inciarte leads it off. Jason Hamill off to a really good start. 3-1, a 2.70 ERA. That's good for 10th best in the National League. He's even better, outstanding, in fact, when you look at the whip. The number of base runners he allows. That is foul. He's got the 4th best walks and hits per innings pitch ratio, Bob, of the major leagues.
He's one of those under the radar guys. His last 4 starts, he only has 1 decision. That was a win. 3 no decisions. But you heard Turner Ward talk about that sinker slider combination. Everything down, down, down. Tries to get ground balls.
And Ender shoots it the other way. Drops it into left. A leadoff single. This is the lineup this afternoon for Chip Hale's Arizona Diamondbacks.
Good start. Ender Inciarte playing right field today. Leads it off of the base hit into left field. A.J. Pollock in center. Paul Goldschmidt at first base. David Peralta out in left field. Aaron Hill at third base. Gordon Pacheco doing the catching. Chris Owings at second. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. And Jeremy Hellickson, the right-hander, on the mound.
A.J. Pollock. Inciarte 5-for-8 in his stolen base attempts this year. AJ looks at strike 1.
We've seen the Diamondbacks be very aggressive in this series, especially game 1 against John Lester, who has some issues throwing to first base, but had a couple guys thrown out in the game last night. One on a broken hit and run, another one on a great throw by Miguel Montero. But with a sinker ball, ground ball pitcher on the mound, I think you have to be aggressive. Stay out of that double play.
This guy does not walk anybody. He is a pitch to contact guy. And he's got that great slider and 2-seamer. You see a lot of ground balls. AJ 1 for 4 last night, singled and scored a run. Had 4 hits in Friday's series opener. In fact, was a home run shy of the cycle. Inciarte will take second. It rolls away from Miguel Montero.
Ball in the dirt. Miggy just backhands it. Can't find it initially. And Ender Inciarte got a good read at first. Easily cruise into scoring position for AJ.
Difference there, Bob. You talk about it all the time. Between Tuffy, who would get out in front of that ball, and Miggy, who kind of tried to backhand it with the glove that time. That is a fair ball in play. Guess it went off the bat. Excuse me, check swing on the part of AJ, and Ender has to hold at second.
That's a frustrating at bat for any hitter. You don't even really get to swing. Trying to get out of the way as this pitch tailed up and into A.J. Pollock. That might have hit off the knob of the bat.
I'm just glad it didn't hit him in the hand.
It hits right off the knob of the bat into fair territory. Sure enough. That's a tough break for AJ.
You remember May 31st last year, almost exactly a year ago, he was hit on the hand by that Johnny Cueto fastball and was out the entire summer. Here's Goldie. 327, 11 homers. He's got 35 RBIs. Big cut at that one. It's 0-1. Goldie hitless last night. A pair of walks. He did score twice. And had a big night here Friday. 3 for 5. Drove in 3. Hitting better than 400 this year with runners in scoring position. Diamondbacks have scored in the first inning in the first 2 games of this series. This was the big hit with 2 outs in the ninth on Friday that sent us to extras.
crazy when Goldie hit that 2-run homer to tie it up.
Because there was a no-doubter. You get those no-doubters in those spots, you can just sit back and enjoy it. How about our group right behind home plate there with the fedoras? That's a good-looking group back there.
Very stylish.
Yeah. And the home plate suite down there.
That's the Mike Brito fan club.
None of them have radar guns, though. The only thing that's missing, the longtime Dodger scout. 1-2. Goldie able to check that time, and it's even 2-2. Well, Joe Maddon said after last night's ball game that this series has been a battle of the first baseman the last 2 nights. And boy, he's right on there. Maddon said Goldschmidt got the Cubs Friday. Rizzo got the Diamondbacks last night. And this afternoon, round 3. It's full 3-2. In fact, Rizzo, after his 6 RBI night last night, was asked about the head-to-head matchup with Goldie in this series, and Rizzo said Goldie is one of his favorite players to watch. In fact, Rizzo said he told Goldie, man, you're just better than everybody else.
Keep it simple. Yeah.
3-2 pitch. Bangs it into right center. Here comes Ender, and the Diamondbacks take a 1-0 lead.
Mutual Admiration Society continues as Goldie got jammed just a little bit, but obviously strong enough to muscle that ball into the outfield. Andrew Inciarte with his speed got a great jump out there at second and will score the first run of the game easily.
It's all about 44 around here. You got that right. And why not? His 36th RBI. This is game 43. David Peralta. 1 out, a run in. Jumps on the first one, and it's in the seats.
Fours are wild over there at first base. 2 of the best in the game, both wearing the same number.
Yeah, Rizzo said, you know what, it's fun playing against the other top players. And these guys, in so many different ways, as we've talked about, versions of each other. 0-1 to Peralta. Goldie back in time. Another thing that they actually do, Bob, we haven't talked about, they're both really good base runners.
Yeah.
Rizzo has 9 steals this year. Goldie has 8. Kind of an underrated aspect of both guys' games.
Yeah, neither guy has what you would call base stealing speed, but they pick their spots well. They read pitchers' moves to first base and deliveries to home plate very well.
Well, that was a big hit for the Diamondbacks because it's not often that anyone puts up a first-inning run against this guy, Jason Hamill. That one was close.
And you can see where Goldie is. His entire body is out of the baseline, just reaching back with that right hand. Very little for Anthony Rizzo to tag.
Comes to the plate this time, and Peralta swings through. He's down 0-2.
They're saying that Peralta hit Miguel Montero with his backswing that time, so they're sending Goldie back to first base.
Angel Hernandez jumped out from behind the plate.
After he swings through this ball, the bat comes around and knocks the ball out of Miggy's glove right there. Goldie very alertly saw that and broke for second base, but Angel Hernandez sends him back to first.
Angel right on top.
Right on top of it.
0-2 to Peralta. Diamondbacks run just the second time all season that Hamill has allowed a first-inning run. 1-2. David at 257 and 4 homers. He's now got 21 RBIs. He had one of the biggest hits of the ball game last night. That 3-run double that made it 5-4 Diamondbacks after Rizzo's 3-run double in the top of that inning had given the Cubs the lead. This is down and in. It's 2-2.
We talked about the Diamondbacks running game, and against Hamill, I think you're more inclined to play hit and run rather than straight steal. Hamill unloads the ball pretty quickly to home plate, and Miguel Montero's been throwing well, but just as a point of comparison, the Diamondbacks 40 stolen bases after 42 games this year. Last year it took 74 games to get to 40, and in 2013 it took 116 games to get to 40.
And stayed aggressive all season long, and now Peralta has worked at full 3-2. So Hamill, they're making him labor here in the first. And this is a guy that has very few base runners around him. The fourth best whip in all of baseball. Aaron Hill will be next. There goes Goldie. Peralta strikes out. And Montero throws him out. The strike him out, throw him out ends the first. But the Diamondbacks get a run on the board. Paul Goldschmidt's RBI single has made it 1-0 Arizona. Brought to you in part by Yancey's Fancy, New York's finest artisan cheese. And by Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing. Choose Chaz.
Oh, listen to that sizzle, BB. Got the onions on there. Oh, that is solid.
That's why they invented breath mints right there.
Starlin Castro leads off the second against Jeremy Hellickson, who's got a 1-0 lead on Paul Goldschmidt's RBI single. Jeremy had a tremendous 1-2-3. Top of the first inning, 3 outs on 8 pitches. And now here's Castro with 272 and 3 homers. He's got 3 hits in the series, including a double and an RBI. And just when you talk about Jeremy's efficiency, he falls behind 2-0. This is headed toward the corner and right. Foul ball, and they can't quite run it down. Of course, Joe Madden very much familiar with Jeremy Hellickson. They were pitcher and manager with the Tampa Bay Rays for a long time, and Madden was saying after the ball game last night, looking ahead to this matchup, that Jeremy is a great kid, big part of what the Rays did while Madden was there. And someone asked him, hey, what are you going to tell your hitters about Hellickson? And Madden said, well, he's got a really good changeup, a good curveball that Joe said nobody talks about, and a sneaky quick fastball. And Madden described Jeremy as kind of a dart thrower up there, which I thought was pretty accurate. See him try and locate that fastball. This is there, and he's behind on Castro, 3-1.
have to be a little bit concerned that Joe Madden may be aware of some weaknesses in Jeremy Hellickson's game and would tell his team how to take advantage of that. But if Jeremy executes his pitches, it won't make any difference.
3-2. And Castro, it's really been a Jekyll and Hyde start to his season so far. And look at the difference. He's about 100 points down in batting average from the first month of the year. And he has struck out much more frequently this month than he did in April.
Well, it seems like Castro is swinging harder with more of an uppercut swing, hitting in the 4 spot behind Anthony Rizzo. Maybe he feels he needs to generate a little bit more power.
In on the hands, a roller to second. Chris Owens is there with his high socks on today. CO's got a different look in it.
Well, before Miguel Montero makes his way to the plate, let's take a look at our Valley Honda keys to the game on Fedora Day. We hope at the end of the day Jeremy Hellickson can tip his cap. And of course, the team off to St. Louis right after the ball game tonight. It's funny how baseball works. Battling the Cubs here at Chase Field today, and as soon as this ball game is over, the Cubs are going to be rooting for the Diamondbacks to beat the Cardinals.
Hey, wait a minute. Those are D-backs fedoras. A custom job. You can see the Scotch tape. Shift is on for Montero. 0-1. Miggy at 268 and 4 home runs. Last night 0 for 4, couple of strikeouts. Still looking for his first hit in this series. Big cut. We've seen that swing once or twice.
The hitting coach told me very early on in my minor league career, there's nothing wrong with swinging hard as long as you see the ball. What happens so many times, especially in Miggy's case, he swings hard and his head comes off.
Drives it the other way. It backs up Peralta. And Miguel Montero is back in town. We're tied.
From past experience, that's when Miguel Montero is at his best, when he's willing to drive that ball to the opposite field. Boy, that time the head was right down the barrel of the bat, pitched middle of the plate away, stayed on it to left field.
He hit a ball last night very similar to that was chased down right in front of the wall. That time he got it over for his 5th home run of the year. And here's Jorge Soler. Soler 273, 3 home runs, and leading the National League in strikeouts. 4 hits in the series, including a pair of doubles. He's starting to come around a little bit. Drove in a pair of runs last night. After what Joe Madden called earlier this month, a bit of a rough patch for Jorge Soler. Now hitting just under 300 in the month of May. Lines it off the glove of Owens at second. It rolls into center and Soler's aboard. That's a base hit for the Cubs right fielder.
If Jorge Soler ever learns how to make consistent contact, this guy might win a batting title. I mean, he hits the ball hard. Chris Owens is out there a good 130, 135 feet from home plate, and he got handcuffed by that line drive.
Yeah, Joe Madden talks about Jorge Soler's talent and just says it's prodigious. He is a physical specimen. He just turned 23 during spring training. And the physical skill set just leaps out at you. Chris Coghlan. There's a strike, 0-1. Coghlan scuffling right now. 203, does have 6 homers. On base twice last night, a single and a walk. Had a good year offensively with Chicago last season, just over 280 in 125 games, but has slumped this year, and he's down 0-2.
That line drive off the bat of Soler was clocked at 114 miles per hour.
There's the reason they gave him all that money, Jorge Soler, coming out of Cuba. He got 9 years, $30 million. And a deal that could prove to be extremely team friendly once he hits his prime. Cubs control Soler through the 2020 season. He's at first. The 0-2 to Coghlan.
You don't have to pay too much attention to Soler. He is one Cub that has yet to attempt to steal this year. He has good speed running balls down in the outfield. It just hasn't translated to base stealing ability yet.
One and two. Jeremy coming off that very encouraging start Tuesday at Miami. 6 innings against the Marlins, allowed just 2 runs, only 4 hits, and had just 1 walk. And it was only the second time this year that the Diamondbacks won a game that Jeremy started. But if he pitches like he did last time out, they'll likely win a lot more. Double play opportunity here with the shift on. Ahmed tries to turn it, but Coghlan, who runs well, beats it out up the line. That was a long throw with a shift on there for CO. Back toward the second base bag.
Stepped into it, had his body turned at the appropriate angle so he could get that ball quickly to Nick Ahmed, but there's too much speed coming out of the batter's box by Coghlan to turn a double play.
So 2 down now, and here in the 8th spot is the pitcher Jason Hamill. He's a little hitterish up there. 6 for 21. And Hamill's a big dude. He's 6'6", 225. So he's got a big strike zone, but he seems to do all right up there. From Port Orchard, Washington, Treasure Valley Community College. The Rays got him with a 10th round pick in 2002. Taking his hacks. Hellickson's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. And Hamill came up just like Jeremy Hellickson did with Tampa Bay. Pitched on that Rays 08 team that went to the World Series. Hellickson strikes him out. First strikeout today for Jeremy. But Miguel Montero's homer ties it at 1 on this Memorial Day weekend in downtown Phoenix.
Hey, D-backs fans, it's time to play Gila River Casinos Casino. Please turn your attention
history brought to you by Geico. The Reds and the Phillies played the first ever Major League night game back in 1935 on this date at Crosley Field. Reds beat the Phillies 2-1 in that ball game. Franklin Roosevelt, the president at the time, pushed a button at the White House to turn the lights on at Crosley Field. If you hit the wrong button,
well,
ooh.
Suddenly here comes the crane and you need a new ballpark. Aaron Hill leads off the Diamondbacks second against Jason Hamill. 1-1 ball game. Goldie an RBI single in the first, and Miguel Montero a solo homer in the top of the second. 0-2. Aaron at .260 with 3 home runs. 1 for 4 yesterday.
Mickey's upper body as he blocks this ball. See how he turned, leaned his right shoulder in and dropped his left shoulder back, and that caused the ball to ricochet over toward the third base side of the field.
I was going to say, do that with guys on base, that could be a problem. And Angel Hernandez rings up Aaron Hill.
Said it was on the swing right here. Breaking ball from Hamill stays way up out of the strike zone.
Yep. I think Aaron wanted him to look down to first base and Scott Barry, but Angel was having none of it. So second strikeout for Hamill. And here's the catcher, Jordan Pacheco. Jordan .224, a pair of homers. Struck out as a pinch hitter in Friday's game against the Cubs. When you've got a guy, Bob, like Jason Hamill, who's pitched 53 innings this year, he's only walked 6 guys all year. Do you go up there knowing you might need to be a little more aggressive?
Yeah, but it's still at the same time, it has to be a pitch from the mid thighs up. If anything middle of the thighs you swing at, it's going to end up down by your knees with some downward movement, and you're probably going to top it and hit it on the ground to the infield. Now, of course, you can't make a pitcher get the ball up, but that's what hitters tell themselves. That's what hitting coaches tell hitters. Make him get it up. See the ball up in the zone. Of course, with 2 strikes, you just have to be ready to protect the plate any way you can, but when the count's in your favor, see the ball up.
Hamill is a big pitch to contact guy. Does get his share of strikeouts, certainly, but he forces the issue. He will be in the strike zone a lot looking for ground balls, with only 6 walks all season long. This is high in the air, right center field, an easy play for Fowler. 2 down. Let's take a look at Chicago. Around Jason Hamill, it's our mid-first bank starting defense for the Cubs.
Coughlin in left, Fowler in center, Soler over in right field. It'll be Chris Bryant and Starlin Castro on the left side of the infield. Jonathan Herrera and Anthony Rizzo on the right side. Miguel Montero behind the plate for righty Jason Hamill.
And this has been our first up close and personal look at rookie phenom Chris Bryant, the third baseman, who has got a tremendous throwing arm down there. So any close plays at first, keep an eye on that. This guy can really throw. He's also a pretty good hitter. Chris Owings. Seo trying to get it going with the high Sox here, 240. He was on a nice run earlier this month. He'd hit safely in 7 straight. The batting average was 270 at that point. Let's see that arm. And Hamill works a quick 1-2-3 second. He's retired 4 in a row. It's a Kid Caster Sunday. That's coming up. Cubs and D-backs tied at 1. here from Queen Creek. How are you?
Good.
You excited to be here? You got your D-back fedora that I see you got somebody to sign. Who signed your hat?
Gonzo.
Yeah, that's big time there. D-back T-shirt. We're glad to have you here. It's Sanderson Ford Kidcaster Sunday. Now, Bree, what do you do for a living?
Right now I play softball.
You're a professional softball player?
I guess you can say that.
That's a pretty good deal. What's your position in softball?
I usually play second base.
Oh, just like Chris Owings is down there today at second. Now, do you like CO's high socks? He's got that high sock look going.
Yeah, he does. I guess it's okay. I mean, I don't know if it's unusual or not.
It's a little different. Oh, here he is. Right to second base. We have our second baseman in the booth. As Jonathan Herrera grounds out to open up the third inning.
Bree, I saw that your favorite food was tacos, and I know that you're a good D-backs fan. You know that if you score 5 runs, you get free tacos tomorrow.
Yeah, I do at Taco Bell, right? Yeah.
That's Bob's favorite part of this job. Is when he gets free tacos.
Free food. We love free food, Bree.
Dexter Fowler now with a 1 out here in the third. It says here, Bree, they give you a questionnaire, and what do you like most about going to Diamondbacks games? The excitement of the game and just being in the ballpark? Because that's my favorite thing, too.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting, and you always hope that wherever you sit that you get a ball hit to you, so you can take it home.
Have you had that happen yet?
No.
Well, you're a kidcaster, so now you have some connections. Maybe we can make that happen.
That'd be cool.
I have to talk to somebody about getting you a baseball. Now, it says, Bree, when you grow up, you want to be a writer.
Yeah.
What kind of writer? What stuff do you like to write?
Well, right now, I just like writing, nonfiction or, yeah, like realistic fiction.
Okay. Like, stories about people's lives, like biographies, history, that kind of thing?
Not exactly that. More like a person's life and whatever's going on in it, like bad or good.
Well, maybe have you thought about being a sports writer?
I have thought about it a little bit, but I haven't gone really deep into it.
Because we could use some really sharp women baseball writers. We don't have enough of them. Because, we got guys like Steve Gilbert down there. Frankly, just between you and me, he could use some help.
Yeah, you would really class up that press box, Bree. I'm telling you, that's a mess down there.
Yeah, we got to raise the bar down there. 2-2. What are your thoughts on Goldie?
I think he's a really good first baseman.
Hard not to like him.
Yeah.
Hey, Bree, we're going to put you to work. Since you like tacos, can you read this one right here?
Anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with a purchase of a large drink between 4 p.m. 6 p.m. the following day at participating locations.
Very nice.
Professional.
I lost my job.
Professional. Well, now I think if we get 5 runs, that Bob should have to give his tacos to you.
Yeah.
I would gladly do that.
Here's Chris Bryan.
Because I think if we score 5 today, we're going to win, Bree.
Now, this is not the first time, from what I understand, Bree, that we've had a family member of yours up here, right?
Yeah.
Who else was here? Your brother, right?
Yep, my older brother.
Now, what's he doing? How's he doing since we last saw him?
Since we last saw him, he broadcast for his high school.
Wow, nice. Okay. How's that going?
It's going really well. He broadcasts like football, basketball, baseball, that stuff.
That's great. That's a great opportunity. Do you listen to his broadcasts?
Yeah, often.
Do you give him tips?
No. He's the master of the family.
Now, Bree, you said that you've never caught a ball at the ballpark, and I catch them up here all the time. So I've got a game-used ball right here.
Oh, look at this. How about that?
Take that home.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nice. Is that the one that came in the booth the other day?
No, that one actually dropped down.
Oh, the one you didn't catch. But you did protect the camera.
I tried.
Sometimes, Bree, we get foul balls that come flying right in here, so just be careful. Be ready.
I think that's pretty scary.
Yeah, you're going to have to use those second base skills. Good pitch by Hellickson there on a dangerous hitter in Chris Bryant. Beware flying objects. You got to pay attention at all times. Now, you're also a big Cardinals fan, I see. Huh?
Yeah.
Like football?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's your favorite Cardinal player?
Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, sure.
Arizona Cardinals.
Can't go wrong.
Jeremy Hellickson gets a big strikeout, his second of the ball game, and works a 1-2-3 third. Bree Palacio from Queen Creek. Hey, thanks so much for coming up.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you.
Nice job, Bree.
Through the 7th against those New York Mets. June 6th, Bark at the Park Day. Your chance to bring your furry friend with you to the ball game. If you want to bring your dog, be sure to pre-register it. dbacks.com/bark at the park. Have to pre-register your pet first. Ahmed drives it to the gap in left center field. Nick Ahmed is on the run. And he's thinking green. He's in there with a triple. First triple this year for Nick Ahmed, who has now hit safely in 9 straight games. And over that span, he's got 14 hits. The bat has come alive.
It really has. Confidence is a wonderful thing. Talked about all the hard work Nick has put in all season long, trying to get that swing straightened out. And whatever the reason, he's figured something out and swinging that bat with a lot more confidence, driving it into the gaps, down the lines. And with his speed, he's thinking 3 right out of the batter's box.
First career triple, in fact. First of this season. Cubs defense or infield will come in now. Jeremy Hellickson looks at strike one. Jeremy does have 3 hits this year. See if he can just knock one through the infield and give the Diamondbacks the lead. Drives it almost to the same spot. Fowler runs it down. Ahmed will tag. RBI for Hellickson, and it's 2-1 D-backs. He's been a productive hitter this year, Jeremy Hellickson.
For a pitcher that doesn't get very many at-bats and coming over from the American League, he looks like he knows what he's doing up there. Nice, short, quick swing. Just make contact, put it in play. Good things happen.
The first career run batted in for Jeremy Hellickson, and he gives himself a 2-1 lead. Here's Ender Inciarte. Ender singled and scored his first time up. And he's back over 300 for the year. Started the ball game at 297. Down 0-2. Ender had been hitless in the series. He was 0 for 5 with a walk Friday. Not in the starting lineup yesterday. Off of Hamilton into center. Boy, the Diamondbacks Barreling up some balls here in this third inning. Ender's 2 for 2.
Like a breaking ball that just kind of hung over the plate for Ender Inciarte. That 2-strike approach, short and quick to the ball. Line drive right back up the middle.
Here's A.J. Pollock meeting on the Cub mound here. Herrera comes over from second. This is not something that Jason Hamill is used to. Traffic on the bases.
Everybody clap your hands.
Ahmed started it off with his first career triple. Hellickson drives him in. Inciarte a single, and now here's Pollock, who's 0 for 1. A.J. 11 hits in his last 21 at bats as he steps in here. Strike one. He is on, and we've seen A.J. get like this before. He's on one of his big hot streaks right now. He goes on these runs, it seems, where the hits just come in bunches. May, in fact, has always been by far, for whatever reason, the best month of the season for A.J. Pollock. There goes Inciarte. The throw from Montero is not in time, and Ender Inciarte has his 6th golden base this year.
First into second base. Herrera had to come up with that short hop throw. You'll watch the glove come up right there to make the catch. And too late, Inciarte already on the bag.
Last time Ender singled, the lead off the ball game for the Diamondbacks, went to second on a wild pitch and scored on a Goldie single, and he's in scoring position again. And AJ's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Chip Hill likes his team aggressive out there, and that has shown up in the numbers. Two. Mention that May has always been the best offensive month for A.J. Pollock. His career batting average in the month of May is .327, which is in fact the only month of the year in which his career batting average is over 300. And of A.J.'s 21 career homers, 8, or roughly a third, have come in the month of May. 2-2 pitch. This is down and away, and it's full. Hamill is not sharp here today so far.
Hasn't really been able to command that breaking ball. He's made some mistakes in the middle of the plate with it and been way out of the strike zone at other times.
Big cut at that one, and he strikes out. Looks like A.J. chased one there. 3rd strikeout for Hamill. Saw yesterday before the game, baby. This is something we really hadn't seen before. Sliding mats. Diamondbacks were working with Peralta and Inciarte heading into 3rd. It's like a big slip and slide.
Yeah, a little bit like a slip and slide.
That was before the ball game this weekend, the other day. Goldie, an RBI single his first time. He did not go. That's Scott Berry down there at first. And let's check out the progress. This is Ender going into second.
It's always dangerous leading with those hands and fingers to the base, especially when the throw might be a little bit offline and that middle infielder is trying to block the base. And Ender able to get in there safely that time on his belly.
Goldie 3rd in the National League at RBIs. He's already got 1 here this afternoon. Gives this one a ride. High and deep, and kiss it goodbye. Paul Goldschmidt Goldschmidt, his 12th, and the Diamondbacks lead it 4-1.
More two-out runs for the Diamondbacks. Goldie now 7 for his last 9 with runners in scoring position. In the second at bat in the ballgame, he's come to the plate with first base open. And misses his spot by a wide margin that time, and Goldie just tomahawks at the straightaway center field.
Well, as Anthony Rizzo told him, man, you're just better than everybody else. David Peralta struck out his first time.
Those are the kind of at-bats. There you go. Souvenir.
A Goldie home run ball.
I mean, Joe Madden, obviously he's focused on the game and the next pitch and the next batter and the next inning, but in the back corners of his mind, he knows he's going to have to answer the question from the Chicago media. Why did you pitch to Goldschmidt twice with first base open?
And Joe will have a good explanation, that's for sure. But that one leaked back out over the plate, and Goldie just mashed it. 1-2 on David now.
Boy, he is just crushing high pitches this year. I mean, you saw the home run in game 1 of this series to the left field. It was a pitch up around letter high on the inside part of the plate. The last home run, another ball up and over the plate.
Goldie Friday 3 for 5. He drove in 3. So far this afternoon, 2 for 2. He's driven in 3. 2-2. Oh, lines it off the glove of Castro. And you've talked about this, Bob. His attention at times in the ball game will just wane. And it almost looked like he lost interest there as the ball was coming right at him.
He's all about swinging that bat. He's an offense-first shortstop, no question about it. Fairly routine ball, might have had a little tailing action, but Castro just didn't look all the way into the glove. Drops harmlessly out there in shallow center field to continue the inning for Aaron Hill.
E6. Joe Madden said he challenged Starlin Castro during spring training to win a Gold Glove, and he has been far from that so far this year. So a gift for the Diamondbacks here, a 2-out base runner for Aaron Hill. Aaron struck out his first time against Jason Hamill. That's in the seats. Well, Aaron Hill, you know, there really weren't a whole lot of consistent at-bats or playing time early in the year for Aaron once they decided to go with Chris Owings and Nick Ahmed in the middle infield. But now it's more of a 3-man weave kind of a deal. And Aaron, like today, getting some reps at third base occasionally, so he's found more at-bats that way. And if you go back to late April 24th, to be exact, he was only hitting a .154 on the year. That inconsistency, it seemed, was really impacting his game. But since that point, last 22 games, he's hit nearly .330. So with a more consistent playing time has come more consistent offensive results. 50 pitches for Hamill, 33 strikes. 1-2. And Aaron said when the season began, Bob, given his new role, his job is to go out there, play when he's called upon, be professional, and be available. And he's certainly been both those things.
I was about to say exactly that same thing. He has really taken to this role. It would be very easy for a veteran like Aaron Hill, with the track record that he has, to make some waves and not be happy with the situation.
Right center field, Fowler and Soler. Fowler has it, and that's the inning. They measured it at 430 feet. 4.30 for Goldie. His 12th of the year, and the Diamondbacks lead the Cubs 4-1. Chicago Cubs, and Paul Goldschmidt so far with an RBI single and a 2-run homer. Jeremy Hellickson an RBI sac fly, first run batted in of Jeremy's career, in fact. And the Diamondbacks here, as Anthony Rizzo leads it off, lead the Cubs 4-1. Rizzo, Castro, Montero 3, 4, and 5 in the Chicago fourth. Rizzo grounded out his first time, hit away from the shift, and that's on again for the Diamondbacks defensively. 3 defenders on the right-hand side. Last time he grounded it right to Nick Ahmed at short, the only guy over there on the left-hand side. Pulls it this time, a little roller up the first base line. Goldie has it himself, and Hellickson has retired 5 in a row.
Boy, did a nice job of staying right in on the hands of Anthony Rizzo that time. Didn't allow him to get any extension. Hit that ball right off his hands. A little slow dribbler down there to Goldie for the out.
Well, here's Castro. Grounded out his first time. Just had an error in the bottom of the third. A line drive that clanked right off the glove. He seemed to kind of take his eye off it. And Castro had said last month he had a great April. Just killed the ball, and he said he didn't want to be a joke anymore. And he's always had a very advanced talent level, but he seemed distracted. The other part of that, I think, for him, Bob, is he, for a long time, and he gives this one a ride, and Peralta's there. He, for a long time, was their best player on some bad teams. And I think he might carry some of that stigma of some poor Cub teams around with him still as things get better there.
Even going back to his rookie season, he has always said the right things after making defensive errors or falling asleep at his position defensively or getting picked off the base. He's always been very apologetic. He's going to be better. I'm going to work hard on it. But old habits die hard, and occasionally his mind wanders, especially on the defensive side of the game.
Miguel Montero, who homered in the second, his 5th of the year for the Cubs' only run. Castro was asked about that in spring training, and people said, hey, what's been going on? And he said he doesn't think he was lazy in years past. In fact, he said he didn't know what happened. They're still trying to get him squared away. 4 pitches, 2 outs so far for Hellickson, and he's ahead of Montero 0-2 as Angel Hernandez says strike 2. Big crowd here. The roof is closed. The panels are open. 20,000 D-backs fedoras handed out here on this Memorial Day weekend. Still weird to see Miggy in that Cub blue. It just is. Haven't quite adjusted yet. Gives this one a ride to deep center field. A.J. Pollock is there. And a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Jeremy Hellickson. He has retired 7 in a row, and he's got a 4-1 lead. Honda dealers, where you'll get more standard features for less money. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Mix One, great taste, no face, available at local retailers.
Welcome back to Chase Field. I'm Kate Longworth, and I'm joined by a very special guest. This is Forrest Sessions, one of the oldest veterans from World War II, still alive. And Forrest, share with me what your service was to the country back then.
Well, it was pretty rough. We trained in Austin, Texas. I trained in Camp Leonardwood, advanced training. Then I went overseas on February 28th. Served with the Medical Corps. Served with the hospital at first. Then I went into combat. I served in combat for about 6 months. My father was in World War I, and he was wounded. I was wounded in France. He was wounded in France. And it was pretty rough, but a lot of the boys didn't make it back. They're the heroes.
Well, you too are a hero, Purple Heart recipient, and we thank you for joining us here at the ballpark for Memorial Day weekend. Thank you so much for your service, guys.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Sessions, who received a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. He was part of the 62nd Battalion during World War II. On this Memorial Day weekend, as we honored members of the United States military, active, former, and retired, as well as all current and former police officers, firefighters, other emergency personnel. Part of our Budweiser Cheers to the Heroes weekend. Jordan Pacheco leads off the Arizona fourth against Jason Hammel. Pacheco flying to center his first time. Another one right back up the box. Herrera makes a nice play, and they throw out Pacheco. Hammel's had a couple liners come right at him in the ballgame so far.
That's a good approach by a lot of the Diamondbacks hitters. We've heard it so many times. Stay up the middle of the field. If you're a little late, you got room to work on the right side. If you're a little early, you got room to work on the left side. A lot of the Diamondbacks hitters going right back up the middle of the field against Hammel.
Chris Owings grounded out his first time. And Chris had that 7-game hit streak earlier this month. At that point, he was hitting .270, but you know, look at the average right now. It's down to .238. And he's stuck at an 0 for 16. And I think that's what the high Sox is for, just trying to change the mojo up there. But as we just saw, he has at times, I think, Bob, lately, and we've seen this with CO a number of times, looked a little over aggressive up there, just almost determined to swing at the first pitch he sees.
Once again, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's the first pitch you're looking for.
And now quickly, this is what it's like when you're 0 for 16. He's down 0-2.
Seems like every at bat you're in the hole. And they call these knock socks. At least that's what Matt Williams and Jay Bell used to call them. If they were in a little mini slump, they'd hike the pants up, show a lot of sock.
Chases that one in the dirt. Fourth strikeout for Hammel.
Hey fans, when the D-backs win, you win at Papa John's. A day after every Diamondbacks win, you get 50% off your regular menu price online order at Papa John's. Enter promo code D-backs50 at papajohns.com.
Well, Nick Ahmed, boy, the bat has really come alive. He tripled and scored his first time up today. He's now hit safely in 9 straight, and Nick says he's really starting to put the barrel on the ball, starting to see the ball a lot better. And the results are really coming in here. Little flare to center. Fowler's there. And Hammel works a quick 1-2-3 inning. We will go to the 5th. Diamondbacks lead the Cubs 4-1. Donation to military assistance mission, $25,000 from our friends at Sanderson Ford and Sunday Diamondbacks baseball and Memorial Day weekend, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Max Erstens is their director of marketing, and he's with us in our booth here. Max, thanks for coming. It's great to see you.
Thanks for the invite.
And congratulations on all the fine work you've done here for our troops on this Memorial Day weekend. Tell us a little bit about what's involved.
Well, first, I'm really happy that I'm here at the ballpark and not at the car dealership. It's at Sanderson Ford. It's pretty amazing that during one of the peak selling times, which is Memorial Day weekend, we're closed Sunday and Monday. And that's a salute to David Kimberly and all that he stands for in supporting the troops.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. I think that says a lot about the folks at Sanderson Ford and what they're about.
Yes, they've never opened on Sunday or Memorial Day in 60 years. So pretty cool deal.
Well, but it's not just this weekend, right? I know you guys are a huge supporter of the military in our community. You've got the Seats for Soldiers program here at every Diamondbacks game, Coyotes, Suns, Cardinals as well, right?
Yes, we've done that for many years. And soldiers come in, and that's not paid for out of tax money. That is paid for by Sanderson Ford and proudly paid for by Sanderson Ford to take care of our military families.
And Sanderson Ford is the title sponsor of the D-backs Celebrity Golf Tournament every year. I've been a part of that, and that's a lot of fun, and it raises a lot of money.
Like $200,000 every year, and it all goes to local community. Give it back to military organizations such as MAM, Military Assistance Mission.
Well, you got to go down on the field with Derek Hall and Debbie Castaldo, and what was that like for you? I guess by now you're a veteran and handing out these big checks, right?
It's always a pleasure and an honor to work with both Derek and Debbie. Derek is I can't say enough nice things about him and what he does for the community.
It's always a priority with the Diamondbacks and Sanderson Ford as well. What about this ball game?
The whole series has been good. We need this one today, though.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, take 2 out of 3 would be, let's do it.
Head to St. Louis. Well, Jorge Soler leads off the 5th. Chris Coughlin, and then the pitcher spot, Jason Hamill. I tell you, I really like, I really like those trucks. The ones that are the new F-150s that are made out of the aluminum.
Oh, yes.
I bet you guys are moving a lot of those.
They are, and it's actually stronger, holds up better than the steel.
They're all over the road. They're fantastic.
They're coming along.
Look out. The second time he do this yesterday?
He threw one off the screen on the third base side last night when he lost the handle on the bat. A smile on his face. Fortunately, nobody injured that time.
Gary Jones, third base coach, has to run it down. Well, Max, I bet you get out to a lot of D-backs games, huh?
Not enough, never enough. But I get to a few. I got to go come yesterday and again today. So 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yesterday was a crusher.
My son's in town and down from Tucson, and had a great family event yesterday.
I mentioned the golf tournament that Sanderson Ford sponsors every year, and I would highly recommend, whether you're a golfer or not, you got to get involved with this. It is a riot. Everybody has such a good time. There's a little something for everybody, whether you're a good golfer or a non-golfer.
Oh, there are people that go and just hang out. Yeah, it's quite an event.
No, it's one of the. It raises as much money as any event that I think that we do. And it's great that it's all for the military.
And if you get a golf tournament and they have a flyover, that's a big-time deal.
That's a big deal, yeah.
It's pretty cool. Soler blasts one toward the gap in left center field. And it's going to one-hop the wall for a ground rule double. Jorge Soler 2 for 2. His bat has really come alive here the last week or so. Well, Max, you've been watching Diamondback baseball for a long time. What do you think about the way things have evolved here with the organization?
I think it's exciting this year. I think they're doing better than a lot of people expected. They're going to be in it. The Cubs are playing good this year, and if we can take 2 out of 3, which I think we will, it's a shame that we're on the road tomorrow for Memorial Day, but everybody will be watching that. We have a really special presentation that's going to air just prior to the game. It's called American Heroes tomorrow.
Oh, tell us about that.
It's about a 5-minute tribute about God, honor, our country, and it's really, really good. Before the D-back game, please tune in tomorrow. It's going to run just prior to the show, and it's a 5-minute tribute, and it's really what Memorial Day is all about.
So that's after the pregame show, but before the game broadcast.
That's
so
to
right
my understanding. That is
great.
correct.
So almost right at the top of the broadcast, if you're just tuning in for the game, that's great. Hopefully you watch the whole pregame show, and it's right there for you.
No, it's put to the song by Lone Star, "I'm Already There," and it is moving. I encourage everybody to tune in and see that, because it's really what Memorial Day is about.
1-1 to Chris Coghlan.
As you know, Max, here at Chase Field and all around baseball, recognizing the veterans and police officers and firefighters, have them stand up for a round of applause every day. That's one of the highlights of our day, to get to see that every day at different ballparks.
Today, that was really moving. Not only military people, but other heroes, firemen, first responders, police officers. It's pretty cool. I can't think of a better thing to do this weekend than come to a game and take a moment tomorrow to, just to reflect on those that have lost their lives, protecting our freedom.
2 balls and a strike. 3-1 now. Hellickson, a leadoff double. Now he's behind on Coghlan. He's got the pitcher on deck. Big crowd here today. This place is packed. 20,000 fedoras handed out. Been a great weekend here. Diamondbacks will draw about 100,000 fans for these 3 games. That one is blasted and gone. Chris Coghlan, his 7th homer, and it's a 4-3 ball game.
Can I say boo?
Sure.
Boo.
Second home run today, given up by Jeremy Hellickson. The Montero solo shot in the second, and now Coghlan follows the Soler double.
Not a horrible pitch that time from Jeremy. It was down in the zone. Coghlan has really struggled throughout this series, but got the barrel on that one. No doubter to right field.
So a 1-run lead now, and it's the pitcher Jason Hamill who struck out his first time. Jeremy was really in the rocking chair there for a while. He had back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings, 3rd and 4th. He'd retired 7 straight coming into this 5th. But Soler doubled, Coghlan homered, and suddenly it's a ball game again at 4-3. 0-2.
Not really surprising the way this series has gone. It's been like a fight. You take one to the chin and turn around and give one right back.
Called strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Hellickson, 1 down. Well, Max, if you were going to play GM for a minute, what would you do here with the Diamondbacks? What's the next step?
Just keep bringing Goldie up.
That's good.
Yeah,
like
brilliant.
Yeah. Clone him. Can we clone him?
Yeah. Just keep putting him up. Well, he's got a good series going. So he's always good.
It's like those trucks rolling off the line. We just need a whole bunch of them.
It's a pretty good view up there. I feel like the world's oldest kid caster.
What grade are you in, Max? What's your favorite subject in school?
Not math.
No. They have an accounting department for that, right?
Yes.
Exactly. Tell that to the math teacher. Yeah, we're lucky here. We have a great facility here in the Joe Garagiola broadcast booth, a tremendous view, and we're looking out over a jam-packed ballpark here.
Yeah, kind of wish the roof was open, but I guess maybe too humid, too many people.
Yeah, it gets a little warm in here with this many folks in the house.
Well, Max, we had Bria, our kidcaster, in here earlier, and
she did a great job.
She did a great job and did some of my job. Read one of our promos for tacos. We're going to ask you to contribute a little bit. We're going to put you to work here. As soon as this out is made, we'll have you read that.
As long as it's not another cardio show.
All right, Chopper back to the mound. So here's Max from Sanderson Ford.
Today's Diamondback game on this Memorial Day weekend is being broadcast on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving around the world on land, on ships, at sea. Welcome. That's a good one to read.
Very nice.
I'll take that.
Nicely done.
Max Scherzer, ladies and gentlemen, Director of Marketing at Sanderson Ford. With us in the booth for this top of the 5th inning as Dexter Fowler steps in. 2 down now. And what has suddenly become a 1-run ball game. Thing about these Cubs, boy, you can see why they're doing so well. They're tough to put away.
They got to have one of the most loyal followings in baseball.
Well, BB knows that for sure.
Yeah,
they still follow him around everywhere.
Yeah. You know, it's just crazy optimism on that north side of Chicago. Somebody asked me one time to compare Cub fans to Red Sox fans, and I wasn't that familiar with Red Sox fans, but from what I knew, Red Sox could have a 2-0 lead in the game, and the fans think something bad's going to happen and we're going to lose.
Because it always did.
The Cubs could be behind 18-0 in the 9th inning with 2 outs, and the fans are still thinking we've got a chance to win this.
Yeah, that's really true, isn't it?
You got to somewhat admire that.
Well, you know whose fault that was? That Roger Goodell. Going after Tommy Brady like that with the footballs. To take some air out of your footballs, Roger. You don't go after Tommy like that. 70 pitches now for Hellickson, 45 strikes. Thank you, Harry. 2-1. It's not like tires. You got to like tires, Max. You got to make sure those are inflated, PSI, the whole thing. I mean, who's checking these footballs? What's the deal with that? 4 games.
Gotta drop it. Top round.
2-2, yeah.
It probably hurts just as much.
Max Scherzer, Director of Marketing at Sanderson Ford. Hey, Max, in all seriousness, tremendous job this weekend. Thank you so much.
Thank you for airing the special tomorrow. You guys are great partners.
It's our pleasure.
Fox Sports Arizona. Thank you very, very much.
Get Max back in here.
Hey, Father's Day is just around the corner. Plan now to give Dad the ultimate gift, a day at the ballpark. D-backs will take on the Padres. The first 10,000 dads will get a D-backs Dad's T-shirt courtesy of Audi. Get your tickets now at dbacks.com.
We got a Kid Caster and Max reading promos. You're going to take the rest of the game off?
I'm out of shape. Yeah. Losing my rhythm here.
1-1 on Jeremy Hellickson. You never know what's going to happen up here.
Pages were stuck together. I couldn't even find the thing.
4-3 ball game. How about Father's Day? Take Dad up to the draft room here at the ballpark. That's first class.
Dad would love it up there.
Jeremy had his first career RBI in his first plate appearance earlier in the ball game. A sac fly drove in Nick Ahmed from third after Nick had led off the third inning with a triple. His first career triple. D-backs had a 1-0 lead on a Goldie RBI single. Cubs tied it 1-1 in the second on Miguel Montero's solo shot, 5th of the year for Miggy. As Hellickson strikes out, Goldie had a 2-run homer, and then Coughlin has added a 2-run homer. And we're 4-3 here, bottom 5.
Right fielder,
There's only 1 week left, fans, for the Chaz Roberts air conditioning giveaway. Nominate a family or nonprofit organization in the Phoenix area that needs a new AC system. You can log on to chazroberts.com/coolplay. Entries are due soon. In fact, May 31st. So you've only got about a week for the Chaz Roberts air conditioning giveaway. Ender Inciarte drives it the other way. Coughlin makes a great running catch. Chris Coughlin takes extra bases away from Ender Inciarte, who's already got 2 base hits in the ballgame.
Coughlin really playing shallow out there in left field, and Ender Inciarte almost got it over his head. Nice running grab right there. Just threw his glove up in the air at the last instant. And that long outfielder's glove, ball rattled around but stayed in.
Hamill liked it, that's for sure. Base is empty, 2 down for Pollock. AJ's 0 for 2. Yes, he wins. That's Scott Berry down there. Hamill's now retired 6 in a row. (19 of 20) first pitch strikes. That is getting ahead in the count. We told you he's in the strike zone all the time. He attacks, doesn't walk anybody. A little more hittable than he usually is here today, but he's ahead of AJ 0-2. And this was a guy very good in his last start. That was Tuesday at Petco Park. 7 innings of 2-hit ball, no walks and 8 strikeouts, but got a no decision there against the Padres. Won 8 full innings in his start previous to that against the Mets. Just 5 hits, again did not get a decision. Chris Bryant off the shoulder and into left. Pollock's aboard, and he's going to try and sneak in at second. It rolled up and over Chris Bryant's shoulder over the head of Starlin Castro. Coughlin came in from left, but not in time enough to get AJ, who stands at second for Goldie.
Right up that left arm high in the air out into shallow left. AJ just forcing the issue right there. Play was right in front of him. He thought he could make it, able to get the foot in just underneath the tag of Herrera.
They will walk Goldie. They've learned their lesson here.
They learned their lesson.
This is going to be just the 7th walk allowed all season by Jason Hamill. An intentional pass to Goldie with 2 down in the 5th, and the work to Peralta. E5, by the way, was the scoring decision on that A.J. Pollock hit, the error on Bryant at third. Well, Goldie, third inning, 430 feet to right center field.
That's the only sure way of keeping him in the ballpark. Just throw 4 wide ones, send him down to first.
So it's up to Peralta now, with 2 on and 2 out. David has struck out and reached on an error by Starlin Castro. He hit a rocket up the middle. It went off the glove of Castro. It was hit right to him. And it was ruled E6. Well, David had a big hit last night, that 3-run double that gave the Diamondbacks the lead. Chance for another one right here. Hamill misses away, and it's 2-0. 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Like many of these Diamondbacks hitters, Peralta just under 390. It's a fastball here, puts it in the right field seats. Well, this has been a tremendous series. A lot of fun.
Fans have been into every pitch. Obviously, a lot of Cub fans here at Chase Field for this 3-game series, but the D-backs fans have held their ground.
Back and forth. It's like you said, Bob, been a great boxing match or tennis match. Going to a 5th set here. That's going to get in the seats as well. A big crowd here this afternoon. Diamondbacks are going to get about 100,000 fans for this 3-game series. Right there, that's where you want it, right down the right field line. Two and two. Got him. 6th strikeout for Jason Hamill. And the Diamondbacks strand 2, but through 5 they lead it 4-3. D-backs Pepsi display. Purchase $25 worth of participating Pepsi, Budweiser, and Frito-Lay products to get a pair of tickets to an upcoming D-backs Friday night game. Just see the display for all the details. Pepsi, live for now. This is a big inning, BB, for Jeremy Hellickson right here. It is about where he kind of gets a little shaky. Ran into some trouble in the 5th, had a 4-1 lead. Now it's 4-3. He's got the heart of the order here, Bryant, Rizzo, and Castro. Got to get through this 6th. Here's Bryant so far 0 for 2. He has grounded out and struck out. It's a big one for Jeremy here.
The Diamondbacks have had some luck in this series pitching Bryant in off the plate. He'll either pull it foul like he did on that first delivery from Jeremy or pull it way foul, which we've seen him do a couple of times as well.
Bryant's got a 12-game hitting streak. And the shift is on after that terrific changeup. 3 infielders on the left-hand side. During his 12-game hit streak, Bryant batting about .350 with 4 home runs. And to the shift. Nick Ahmed throws him out. A good start for Hellickson. 1 down. Here comes Rizzo. Our T-Mobile game-changing players. This head-to-head matchup, which has been so entertaining to watch, of these big first basemen. Alike in so many ways, their numbers so far for the series.
Seems like Rizzo's done a lot more damage than a 3 for 12, but when he has made contact, he's had a lot of teammates on base, and he's found gaps or seats.
Yeah, that 3-run double yesterday, followed by the 3-run homer, tied a career high with 6 RBIs, and here he is. 0 for 2 so far. And now the Diamondbacks put the shift on to the other side of the field. They were on the left-hand side for Bryant. Now they move to the right for Rizzo. And Rizzo, prior to last night, had not had an especially productive road trip. He was stuck in a 2 for 16 stretch through the first 4 games for the Cubs. 3 in San Diego in the opener here Friday, but had a big night last night. And Hellickson, being careful here, is behind 2-0.
To watch Rizzo as he's waiting for the pitcher to deliver the ball. He stands very upright in that left-handed batter's box, kind of wobbling around a little bit. Looks like he's ready to do anything but hit a baseball. Looks like a lot of Cub fans in Wrigleyville after a game.
Coming out of Murphy's. 3-0.
But once that ball is delivered, he's in that standard hitting position. And as we've mentioned throughout this 3-game series, just a great eye for the strike zone and what he can handle and what he can't handle.
Nothing to hit there. A 4-pitch walk. First walk issued by Jeremy today. And now they work to Castro with 1 out and Rizzo at first. They own a hardware store in Waukegan. Harry with us somehow. It's always good to have him in for the Cubs series. Castro 0 for 2. Three hits in the series. Good start, strike 1, fastball.
Castro leads his Cubs offense, grounding into 7 double plays this year. We've seen some of the big swings that he takes, and when he does put the ball in play on the ground, it takes him a while to get unwound and get out of that right-handed batter's box.
Jeremy has been pretty efficient so far. Exactly 80 pitches now, 51 for strikes, and that's about the way he was in Miami in the previous start. That was Tuesday. Went 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs on 4 hits. 1 out in the 6th right here. Rizzo, don't forget, 9 stolen bases down there at first. That one is bounced. He'll stay put. And it's a ball and a strike. Jordan Pacheco behind the plate.
Tuffy sets the bar pretty high for blocking balls in the dirt, so Jordan Pacheco feels like he's got to do the same thing on those days he gets an opportunity to go behind the plate.
Here's Tuffy at his first home run of the season last night in the 6th inning.
And made one of the best plays you'll see a catcher make this year on that little pop-up. Coughlin tried to bunt over in that on-deck circle on the third base side. Tuffy made a great diving catch.
Hard to short. Ahmed the backhander. Can they roll it? You betcha! Jeremy
Swanson gets the 6-4-3 and gets through a big 6th inning. Nick Ahmed, what a series he's had offensively and defensively. Ahmed, Owings, Goldie, it's 4-3 Diamondbacks.
Slide the post-game show, Joe Borowski. So let's just focus in on the immediate past. Put your Joe Madden managerial hat on. You were going to walk Paul Goldschmidt, right?
You had to. Open base. They didn't do it the first 2 times. He burned him. It's going to be interesting how to deal with him later on in the game.
We'll talk about Paul's series with the Chicago Cubs when we get there. Yeah. But like I said, lots of baseball. Let's get it back to Steve and Bob with the call. Guys, take it away.
Yeah, Todd, you are absolutely right the way this series has gone. Can't turn away for a moment. It's been back and forth through 2.5 games so far, and Aaron Hill leads off the Arizona 6th. Diamondback Live post-game show. Todd Walsh and Joe Borowski follows our broadcast here. As soon as our game is over, we are on a plane to St. Louis. The team that is just ahead of the Cubs atop the National League Central. Cardinals have beaten the Royals in Kansas City 6-1. That's a final. After that, we go to Milwaukee for 3 against the Brewers starting on Friday. And the Brewers were 2-1 losers today in Atlanta. Aaron Hill can't hold up. That's now 7 strikeouts for Jason Hamill. 1 away in the 6th. Hey fans, here's your chance to beat the Heat. Today's word is Kidcaster. Log on to FoxSportsArizona.com/beattheheat. Enter that word for your chance to win a trip to San Diego for the July 4th weekend. Throughout the month of May, we'll have a word of the day every game. Once you see it, go to FoxSportsArizona.com/beattheheat and enter that word.
The password is Kidcaster with 2 Ks.
It's a good look right there. How about this, baby? We just had an announcement here in the booth. We were talking about the idea we'd go over 100,000 fans for this 3-game series, and boy, did we ever. 39,660. Nice. 5,000 fans bought walk-up tickets at the box office just outside Chase Field, and they are here with us. Nearly 40,000 at Chase Field for this one as Pacheco grounds out.
Hey fans, in honor of Memorial Day weekend, Fox Sports proudly supports Folds of Honor and its mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, visit foxsportssupports.com.
And 2 quick outs in the inning for Hamill. He'll work to Chris Owings now. CO has grounded out and struck out. Over 16 million Americans served in World War II. And fewer than 1 million survive today. We lose almost 500 of our World War II veterans every day.
Every day should be Memorial Day.
Boy, once again, first 2 pitches, strikes, and COs down 0-2. Just like the last at bat. Oh, for his last 17. Two and two now.
Hamill appears to be throwing a lot more breaking balls today than normal. He usually just pounds that sinker in there at the knees, gets a lot of ground balls, the defense working behind him, but we've seen him throw a lot of sliders today, a lot of slower breaking balls.
Bruce Bosio, the pitching coach. John Lester there as well. Well, Hamill's been a pretty good pitcher here lately. Came up with Tampa Bay and Joe Madden. Finally became a full-time starter, though, when he went to Colorado. Had a couple of 10-win seasons with the Rockies. Pitched in Baltimore for 2 years. Had a very nice year with the Cubs last season. 8-5 in 17 starts and an ERA under 3. And at the deadline, they traded him to Oakland. He was part of the Jeff Samardzija deal. And that was the trade that got the Cubs Addison Russell. And now they have Hamill back as well. They liked him so much last year that after they traded him to Oakland, they brought him back this year. Got a 2-year, $20 million contract. CO bangs it towards Soler. And he runs it down. 1, 2, 3, 6. We go to the 7th. Diamondbacks hanging on to a 4-3 lead. Powered by Sanderson Ford. The best play is at Sanderson Ford. And by Tire Pro. For the best selection of Continental and General brand tires, visit one of the 22 locally owned Arizona Tire Pros locations. Jeremy Hellickson back out there for the 7th inning. He's got a 4-3 lead. He'll work to Miguel Montero, Jorge Soler, and Chris Coghlan. 5, 6, and 7 in Chicago 7th. Miggy in the 2nd with 1 out, his 5th of the year.
Drove it to the opposite field, something that Diamondbacks fans really like to see from Miguel Montero in his time here in the desert. Not so much now that he's a member of the Cubs.
Talked about the 6th inning being a big inning for Jeremy Hellickson. Got a ground ball from Bryant, walked Rizzo, is kind of a pitch around there, and then got a huge double play ball off the bat of Starlin Castro. And This is what we've been looking for from Jeremy Hellickson, getting deep into the ball game so far, with the exception of 2 mistakes, one to Montero. And the pitch, as you mentioned, to Coughlin wasn't a terrible pitch, but other than that, he's pitched very well.
He really has.
5 seasons for Joe Maddon in Tampa Bay with the Rays, Jeremy Hellickson. There's some action down there in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Looks like the left-hander Andrew Chafin has started throwing. Shift is on for Montero. Miggy is homered and flied out, 1 for 2. The home run is first hit in this series, and his only hit so far. So 5 seasons with Maddon in Tampa Bay for Jeremy. Much of his work there was with Rays pitching coach Jim Hickey. And Hickey had a take on Hellickson. He said if he didn't walk anybody, he's got 3 major league quality pitches. He'll be successful. But Hickey's concern, and what he always went back and forth with Jeremy, was nibbling. And we've seen that this year, getting deep into counts. Next thing you know, it's 5 innings, 100 pitches. He's been a different guy here today.
I think it makes all the difference in the world throwing that strike 1, because then you can nibble. You've got the hitter on the defensive. He's more likely to chase those borderline pitches than when you fall behind 1-0, 2-0. Now the hitter's going to be very aggressive, and that's when Jeremy continued to nibble when the hitter had the advantage. And a lot of 3-ball counts, a lot of 3-2 counts. Been much more efficient with that first pitch today.
14 of 23. And in Tampa Bay with Maddon, the Rays with Maddon and Hickey were always on Jeremy to become more aggressive in that strike zone, get more aggressive out there, challenge hitters, because they believed he would run into trouble when guys see 5-6 pitches in an at-bat, because he's basically a 3-pitch guy. They wanted him to attack the hitter a little more. And somebody asked Jim Hickey about his conversations with Jeremy, and he said, well, you know, I would talk to Hellickson and it would always go like this. He'd say, you need to stick the ball in the strike zone. You need to pitch to contact and make them hit the ball, not get to the point where you let them hit the ball. Make them hit your pitch. Like that one, perfect example. Hickey reaches out, rounds it to Goldie. Hellickson covers, and Montero is retired.
In front of an off-speed delivery here, the changeup down low and away, and Montero protecting the plate in the 2-strike count, rolls over, and it's an easy grounder to the right side.
Well, he hasn't solved the mystery of Jorge Soler yet today. Soler singled in the 2nd, doubled and scored in the 5th. El Stoudemire Jr. on the phone with the dugout. Chafin warming up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Soler now with 6 hits in the series, including 3 doubles. Ball 1. This guy is just a physical specimen, Jorge Soler. Just turned 23 a month or 2 ago. And Joe Maddon is always quick to remind folks, as he says, look, sometimes you equate big people as being more mature as opposed to their age or their birth certificate. This guy's just 23. But you look at him physically and you think, oh boy, he should be terrific. And he should be a great player. Just not quite there yet. He's very young.
Well, you try to project these guys a couple, 3, 4, 5 years down the road after they've seen the opposing pitchers. You get a little better book on the guys and how they're trying to get you out. I mean, Soler is always going to be a wild free swinger, but I think once he gets a little more knowledge of the opposing pitchers, he's going to be even more dangerous.
Nick Ahmed! Got him! Wow. He is special down there at shortstop. Our Chaz Roberts air conditioning cool play of the game. Nick Ahmed for the Diamondbacks.
And didn't find the handle initially as he reached into the glove after ranging way up the middle of the field. Right there, had to double pump and still gets enough on the throw to get Soler at first.
Well, the left-hand hitting Chris Coughlin is coming up. He hit a 2-run homer in his last at bat, and with Andrew Chafin ready, Chip Hale will go to his lefty. But Jeremy Hellickson, an encouraging start last time at Miami, really good here today. Chafin comes in with 2 outs in the 7th. Back after this.
Sports Service is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more. Blackout rules apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
It's dude night here at the ballpark. A lot of dudes and bros down there. Andrew Chafin, the left-hander, on to get what we thought would be the left-hand hitting Chris Coughlin, but once Chafin came in, Joe Madden will go to his bench and he'll bring in Junior Link to hit from the right-hand side with 2 outs. Lake this year 6 hits, 21 at bats, just back from the minor leagues last week. He's been up and down a bit this year. Struck out in a pinch hit appearance last night. Had a couple of singles Friday night when he started in left field. He's at 286 on the year. And we assume he'll stay in the game and take over for Coughlin in left. Two and 0. Andrew Chafin, a guest on our D-backs podcast. You can listen on iTunes or at dbacks.com. And he said he really likes not having to think so much as a reliever as opposed to starting. You just sort of go on instinct out there. There's always a plan and you know who you're facing and all that stuff. But Andrew told us, you know, when you're starting, so much of it is about the meetings and the homework and going over guy. Now he just saw phone rings. He's in the game.
Go get him.
Yeah.
And of course, as a starting pitcher, ideally you're going to have 2, 3, maybe 4 plate appearances by opposing hitters, and you got to think, what did I throw him last time? What do I want to throw him this time? What am I going to throw him next time? And as a reliever, you may only face 3 hitters or 6 hitters, depending on how long they need you in the game.
And he's another guy that admits, you're down there, you hear that phone ring, and all of a sudden, whoop, could be me. He's a strike away here. In the dirt, it's a full count, 3-2. Pitcher spot is next, and Jason Hamill is out there in the on-deck circle.
As you said, limited at bats for Lake this year at the major leagues. Just got called back up from AAA. But this is a guy that does not want to walk. He's only drawn 1 base on balls this year in the big leagues. Anything close, he's liable to hack at it right here.
Last year, 300 at bats in the big leagues, 308, struck out 110 times. On a one hop to Owings. Chafin comes in. It's a 1-2-3 seventh. And the Diamondbacks, as we stretch here at Chase Field, lead the Cubs 4-3. But on this Memorial Day weekend, we pause now to honor America on Fox Sports Arizona.
And sing along as we pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of God Bless America.
Toyota. We've been on the road. We are road warriors here, BB. We started last week in Philadelphia for 3 games, went to Miami for 4, flew back here for 3 against the Cubs. As soon as this game ends, we're right back on the airplane. Go to St. Louis tonight for 3 starting on Monday tomorrow. Thursday's an off day, then 3 over the weekend in Milwaukee, then finally we're back here.
And we mentioned it, starting with the last game in Florida, the Diamondbacks will play 7 games, 7 different start times for those 7 games in 3 different time zones.
Junior Lake does indeed stay in the game and replace Chris Conklin in left. 0-1 to Nick Ahmed, who's 1 for 2, triple and scored in the 3rd, his first career triple. So Nick has now hit safely in 9 straight games. You know, Nick said one thing that really helped him is teammates. He said they really stuck by him. They kept instilling confidence in him even when he was really struggling. He said that really helped out a lot, the teammates and the coaches.
Well, it's because the teammates and the coaches have been through similar struggles before. You know, it really helps if you've actually gone through the struggles and come out the other end with your head held high, and that's what they're hoping for Nick.
He has looked tremendous here over these last 8-10 games. Chases that one down in the dirt. And Hamill has his 8th strikeout. And Chafin was out there in the on-deck circle. He's being called back now, and Mark Trumbo is running out there with a helmet and a bat. There is action in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. So that's going to be it for Chafin, who got a big out there when he got Lake to ground out. Addison Reed will apparently get the 8th. And Trumbo will hit for Chafin. So here's Mark, 268, 6 homers. Had a double last night. 1 for 9 in the series. He's hit safely in 6 of his last 7 games. Trumbo hits for Chafin. Well, the Diamondbacks last night able to get a tack-on run when Tuffy hit that 1-out homer in the 6th. Gave him at the time a 2-run lead. Going to tack on some more runs here. Boy, Hamill ahead all day. There's a great shot from our crew here. Addison Reed and the Diamondback bullpen.
Three straight sliders. First 2 out of the zone. That one just kind of rolled up there on the outer third of the plate. Trumbo expecting a fastball in that 2-0 count. Swung right through it.
100 pitches, 66 strikes. Look at it. Rocket off the protection there in front of the Cub dugouts. And our Golden Glover, Dave Budrewicz, pounces on it down the right field line. Almost got David Ross. Oh, he's a catcher. Supposed to catch those, even if they're coming in at 120 miles an hour.
He was smart enough to get out of the way.
He's a veteran. 2-2. Mark reaches down. He's been real vulnerable, to teams lately, BB. Those sliders breaking balls down and away that just kind of drop out of the zone in the dirt.
4 in a row.
And Mark's batting average for the season was last over 300 on May 7th. And since that point, last 13 games, he's hit 196. And he looks at a fastball for strike 3. Nine strikeouts for Hamill, 2 down.
Up to 4 sliders in a row. Hamill rears back and dots that outside corner with the only fastball of the sequence.
Does it tell you something more about Hamill or the way people are pitching to Trumbo?
I think a little bit of both. We mentioned it in the last inning that Jason Hamill has thrown a lot more breaking balls than he normally does. And as you mentioned, Mark Trumbo sees almost nothing but sliders, especially with runners on base.
Ender 2 for 3. Should be 3 for 3. He hit a shot to the gap in left center his last time up that Chris Coughlin made a terrific running catch on. Just shy of the warning track. Took away extra bases. Another strike 1 from Hamill. Broken bat. Little flare out to right. Soler is there. And Hamill works a 1-2-3 7th. He's retired 7 straights. Diamondbacks lead at 4-3.
High-speed highlights presented by Cox. Our Gila River game summary. Another great ball game in this series. It's late. It's a one-run game. 4-3 D-backs lead it. Home runs by Montero and Coughlin for the Cubs. Goldie, a 2-run shot for the Diamondbacks. He's driven in 3 here. And a new battery for the D-backs as we start the 8th. On the mound, it's Addison Reed. His 16th appearance. Tuffy Gozawish takes over behind the plate for Jordan Pacheco. Mike Baxter, not D. Baxter, but Mike Baxter. We saw in our Gig Life high-speed highlights that Baxter and Baxter have been kind of going back and forth in this series, but they hugged it out. And so Mike Baxter will lead off the 8th for the Cubs. Baxter, a walk and a strikeout in 2 pinch hit appearances in this series so far. Fly ball center field, easy play for Pollock.
Another day, another chest protector for Tuffy Gozawish. We've seen him change chest protectors on almost a daily basis. I believe this is the same one he wore Friday night. He switched to a different one last night. Had absolutely no ribbing on it whatsoever. Just looked like a flat piece of metal back there. And back to the one he wore Friday night here. I think it has something to do with the jersey and fashion.
Yeah, this one's got some red, some lovely white piping. Jonathan Herrera. Yeah, last night's was kind of more like Delta Force or something.
It was bizarre.
Good pitch there from Addison. Jumps ahead of Herrera. 0-1. We've talked about the mechanical adjustments that are underway and really in place ongoing for Addison Reed. A little flare out there for Ahmed. So far so good. 2 down. Remember, Addison was pitching from the third base side of the rubber. He moved there last year. But now he says he's moved way over to the first base side of the rubber. And also that front leg kick, that's gone. That front foot, and we talked about this the other day, that gets down much more quickly now. Barely, in fact, grazes the dirt on the mound. And he's way over there on the first base side. And watch that front foot. It barely comes off the ground. He said it started to feel a little more natural lately. At first it was like a different language for him. But he thinks that it's really helped with the fastball command. And he's thrown some good sliders with this new motion.
That slide step delivery. He had a runner thrown out in that Marlins series. The first time he'd had a runner thrown out in his career, he said. Now we checked the numbers, and there was a caught stealing a few years ago.
Yeah.
It could have possibly been a ball in the dirt that the runner tried to advance and got thrown out and was credited with a caught stealing. But yeah, he said they just run at will with that high leg kick.
Yeah, it was way back in 2012. It's funny, he had a guy caught stealing behind him, and he said, you know, that's kind of neat. I like that. It helps. But he's looked great so far. 8 pitches, 6 strikes. He's ahead of Fowler 1-2. And he got him. Addison Reed, a 9-pitch, 1-2-3 8th inning. And the Diamondbacks lead the Cubs 4-3. What's next? Brought to you by CenturyLink. It's Goldie, Goldie, Goldie.
Addison Reed has embraced his mechanical changes.
Looking to redeem themselves. He looked great in the 8th. 9th inning, let's lock it down, win the series.
All right, sounds like a plan. Steve, we'll send it back to you. Diamondbacks Live coming up right after the conclusion of this one.
Thanks, guys. Another tight finish here. 4-3 D-backs in the 8th, and on for the second time in this series. We saw him in Friday night's game. It's the right-hander Justin Grimm. He worked 1 inning in that ball game, had a walk and 2 strikeouts.
Struck out about 2 batters per inning. He's walked about a man per inning. Opponents only hitting 111 against him. Mike Baxter takes over in left field, moving Junior Lake into center field. Dexter Fowler out of the ballgame.
Well, this is the Diamondbacks' best chance for a tack-on run here in this bottom of the 8th inning with a 1-run lead. The heart of the order up here. Pollock, Goldie, Peralta, 2, 3, and 4. AJ so far 0 for 3. Nice to hang on, win this series, get the W for Jeremy Hellickson, who really pitched a pretty good ball game here, and head to St. Louis with more momentum. That'll slow your momentum, but the churro dog. Yeah, well, I got that at about 4,000 calories right there, the 3 of them. That could lead to an outbreak of the dreaded churro song, which is sweeping the nation.
Gone viral.
Yep. It's one of those internet deals. Two and two.
Next time you come out to Chase Field, we invite you to play Kachinko by signing up at one of the 16 interactive kiosks right here at Chase during any Arizona Diamondbacks regular season home game.
For Angel to ring him up there, but it's full 3 and 2.
It looked like Angel started up ever so slightly with that right arm and then decided no.
Base hit. Pollock 12 for his last 24 at the plate.
Yeah, really let that ball get deep into the hitting zone. AJ's been jumping out at especially breaking balls today. Some check swings, some weak defensive swings. That time stayed back and drove that fastball into right field.
Well, more than 39,600 fans here for the series finale. They've already seen Goldie launch 1 today, a 2-run homer to the home run porch in right center, his 12th of the year.
39,000 plus here at Chase today. I don't think anybody has left. They've seen the first 2 games of this series. Nobody wants to miss anything.
The Diamondbacks have got some really solid. This might get swept under the rug a little bit with more Goldie heroics, but the pitching today has been really good. I know Hellickson gave up a couple of home runs, but he really was the Jeremy Hellickson we've been hoping to see here. Andrew Chafin got a huge out to win the 7th. Addison Reed was tremendous in the 8th. Trying to tack on some runs, but a tailor-made double play ball. Castro, Herrera, and Rizzo. He might be human after all. Two down now for Peralta, who is 0 for 3. He struck out twice. Brad Ziegler ready in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. He is the closer today. You want that churro and your fedora? He's all in. Too busy to talk right now.
Yeah, don't bother me.
I'm eating. Well, Grimm pulling the string here on Peralta. Jumps ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. David now with an even 250 on the year. Big 3-run double in last night's ball game. Lays off there. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Called strike 3. Angel Hernandez rings him up. We will go to the 9th inning. Diamondbacks a chance to win the series here. It's a 4-3 ball game. Brad Ziegler will face the heart of the Cub order coming up.
By Cox Gigablast, how will you live the gig life? By Lone Butte Casino, you're in for more winning moments at Lone Butte Casino. And by Jack in the Box, try the new legendary Buttery Jack from Jack in the Box today.
Well, a big shout out to Curtis. He's manning our RF camera here, and BB Curtis has been running around like a maniac here all weekend long at Chase Field, covering all the sights and sounds of the ballpark for us on that RF camera. So Curtis, thanks so much, man. Great hustle, great shots. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Well, here we go. Buckle up. Brad Ziegler, his 21st appearance, the ERA under 1. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo, and Starlin Castro 2, 3, and 4 in the Cub 9th. And Bryant lines it right to AJ. And that might end Bryant's 12-game hit streak. That was hit right at him. I think he'd like a do-over on that one, but it's an out.
AJ just froze in his tracks out there. That ball just continued to accelerate. Looked like it was going to shoot over his head at the very end, but that's good ups out there in center field. Jumps in the air, makes the catch.
Everything off that kid's bat continues to accelerate. Well, here's a big out to get right here. Anthony Rizzo. They kind of pitched around him last time with Hellickson out there. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, and the shift is on. There's strike 1. Brad's ahead 0-2. Diamondbacks on an airplane as soon as this one's over, headed to St. Louis for 3 all 3 games for you right here on Fox Sports Arizona starting tomorrow. Don't forget on the Memorial Day tomorrow, by the way, it's a day game. It's a 1:15 local start here. Chase Anderson and Carlos Martinez. Archie Bradley pitches Tuesday. Josh Collmenter scheduled to start Wednesday. 1-2 on Rizzo.
reaches down. A one-hopper. Ahmed is there. 2 down. Starlin Castro, last man standing.
Changeup off the plate away. Rizzo showing great plate coverage. Got on it. Hit it right at Nick Ahmed, the only defender on the left side of the infield.
Boy, it's a great thing Brad didn't touch that one. That could have been a disaster.
It could have turned into a double if he deflects it over on the third base side of the field anywhere. Nick was the only guy on that left side of the infield.
Castro 0 for 3. He has grounded out, flied out, and hit into a double play. 39,660, more than 100,000 fans in here for this 3-game series. 2-0. Base hit. Tying runs aboard. Go-ahead run walking up to the plate in the person of Miguel Montero. And isn't this an interesting way to finish things? Miggy in the second inning against Jeremy Hellickson.
Took a fastball away and drove it to left field. Exaggerated pull shift once again on to Miggy.
Goldie holding Castro on the bag at first. And misses ball 1. By Brandon Hyde, the first base coach, and it's even a ball and a strike. In there.
Ball was low.
He was right.
Yep.
Angel Hernandez says strike 2. One more here. Two and 2.
Ebb and flow of this at bat.
Nope, didn't get the call. The 2-2 pitch. It's full. Jorge Soler would be next. Right down to the nub. Castro will be off with a pitch from first. Goldie will play behind the runner and guard the line at first. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. In the air, left field, Peralta. Diamondbacks win it. in 6 of 7. They win the series, and they carry some momentum into St. Louis, and now you can take a deep breath.
Well, what an exciting series, and the Diamondbacks can really feel good about what they accomplished in this 3-game series against a really good Chicago Cubs team that's looking forward to the postseason this year. What an outstanding series. A lot of fans here to enjoy it. Hopefully they'll be back when we get home.
A terrific crowd here, 39,660. We had more than 100,000 fans in here this weekend to see the D-backs take 2 of 3 from the Chicago Cubs. And now it's on to St. Louis for 3 against the Cardinals starting tomorrow afternoon. Diamondbacks Live is on the air. Joe Borowski's ready with Todd Walsh. Todd.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. It's in the books, so that means in a matter of moments we'll start the postgame show. And Joe, high drama here all weekend long for the Diamondbacks and the Cubs. They find a way, though, to win the series. They were a few outs away from winning it and clinching it last night. I like the battle. How about you?
I have no more fingernails left, Todd. What an exciting series all around, up and down. It was never, the game was never over. It was always in question until the last out. Great.
And what a great battle between a catcher and a pitcher who know each other intimately, right? All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll kick the show off on the field outside the Arizona Diamondbacks dugout, as we always do. That's where Kate Longworth is standing by. We'll have a special guest. Plus, we'll go up to the broadcast booth and check in with Bob Brenly, and downstairs to the media room with manager Chip Hale, plus player reaction as the Arizona Diamondbacks defeat the Chicago Cubs on this Sunday afternoon by a score of 4-3 here from Chase Field. Please stick around. We'll be back in just a matter of moments.